her do anything mean or
Mm-hmm.
anything to this little girl. And they used to play all the time when we lived in that neighborhood. They would go ride their bikes together.
Mm-hmm.
um, they were at the festival that their school had. Her parents couldn't take her, but she went with Kylie and I, and spent the evening, at the fun festival thing there at the school with us. And, they were great friends. And
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden, she's just been so, so mean towards Kylie. And that was the day that, Kylie almost started crying while she was at the bus stop. And I had
Mm-hmm.
told her to come back to the car and I was just going to take her, but the bus was starting to pull up and she said no, she was getting on the bus. And I said, okay. Um, but like I don't know what's caused her to do that and to start being that way. Um,
Yeah.
I know a lot of parents are like, no, my kid would never do anything but I've truly never seen Kylie act rudely or anything towards her, or even like when they used to text on the phone, nothing like they were always great friends. And then it was like when we stopped living in the neighborhood was when she really started being super mean. She had started being like she didn't want to say hi to Kylie at school, but we told Kylie that might have been because she was, and technically she's 2 grades ahead of Kylie, even though she's like a year and a half older.
Mm-hmm.
Um, she's technically 2 grades ahead, and we said, maybe she was getting picked on because a second grader was talking to a fourth grader, So I said, and we tried to explain to Kylie that sometimes kids do that, and because she was always still super nice, like on the bus typically and stuff like that. But then it's just gotten to the point where she's just constantly mean and picking on her. And it really beats Kylie up. And I definitely, I understand that, but I feel like that feeds into problems that we do have at home with her because of the emotions and the way she's feeling from somebody who she considered her best friend, treating her that way.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that is upsetting. Somebody that used to be her best friend. And
Yeah.
yeah. But she's got other friends, so at the bus stop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was happened ever since she moved away and she wasn't
It
neighbors with
seems
her
like it's
anymore.
gotten worse. Yeah.
Like she's angry that she moved away.
I don't know if because they they kind of stopped playing as much because she had the little girl had, I think, broken her arm or fractured it or something, so she wasn't playing as much. And I know her parents are going through a divorce. She's actually moving at the end of summer with her mom, and she's going to be going to a different school. So they were already not going to be going to the same school or anything like that. But it seems like it's definitely gotten worse since we have moved. The last couple weeks we were there, um, she was starting to just be certain days it was hit and miss. Some days she would be super nice. She would talk to Kylie, um, but it definitely is worse since we moved.
And then
But
and
Kylie
then
had even told her, if your boyfriends say it's okay, like mom said you can come over on the weekend. pick them up from the bus stop. And sorry, I think
Yeah.
my wife was messed up there.
It's okay.
But we had told her that was, if she wanted to, and because there were it seemed like there were a lot of nights, especially on the weekends, that her mom was going out and her dad wasn't home, so she was just there by herself, or sometimes her brother would be there. So we had told her she was more than welcome to come hang out or what have you, but it just that it's never happened, and it's really hurt Kylie, and I can tell it's taking a toll on her because it was somebody that she was really close to.
It sounds like that friend is taking things out on her because her parents are going through a divorce, and
Yeah.
she's
And we tried to explain that to Kylie when all of it first started happening, when it was like hit and miss days. But for it to have gotten like progressively worse, I told Kylie, there's comes a point where sometimes you just have to remove yourself from that situation, because although you understand why it's happening, if it's always making you feel like it is, then and it's setting your tone for the relationships that you carry out throughout the day, then it's not healthy. It's not the best thing. And Kylie had asked me, I think it was Friday, she said, should I delete her phone number? And I said that, that's completely up to you. I said, I know you don't really text her anymore. I said, but you can keep it if you'd like. If you want to text her one day or something like that, that's fine. But I feel like it's gotten to the point where even though we know she is going through stuff like at home, it's hard to allow Kylie to be like the punching bag for it.
Right, because she doesn't need that in her life. Yeah.
And especially when she's still having, she still has a hard time dealing with her own emotions, and then throwing that on top of it is just I feel like those days are the worst days that we have, is when she's having issues with the kids like that, and especially Lily. I feel like that's when she acts out the most, and acts the way she does the majority of the time, is when something bad has happened on that aspect.
Yeah.